Hello everybody, this is Adrian for WapCar.my and I'm all about the details. The Perodua D55L SUV is now officially open for booking and we now have the preliminary details of Perodua's upcoming compact SUV. Name, price, specs comparisons and more coming up in this video. Download the official WapCar app now on Google Play Store. It will be officially called the Perodua Ativa. Nope, we won't see the revival of the Kembara name here. Ativa definitely sounds more modern, and in the leaked brochure, we can see an accompanying tagline of "Activate every destination." So I guess it points towards the active lifestyle that this SUV hopes to bring. There will be three variants of the Ativa on sale, starting from the X, H and AV. Pricing starts from 62,500 ringgit to 72,600 ringgit on the road without insurance and SST. As I have estimated earlier in my previous video, the Ativa is indeed positioned between the Myvi and Arus, despite the Ativa being a much more advanced car compared to the Arus. Now, what's also very interesting here is that the pricing of the range-topping Ativa AV undercuts the entry-level Proton X50 standard, not by just a little bit, but by a cool 5,800 ringgit. And that is an amazing move by Perodua. Time will tell whether this is a checkmate against Proton. All variants of the Ativa will be powered by a 1-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine paired to a CVT automatic. Now, Perodua has not disclosed their output figures for the Ativa, but we know that the Japanese donor cars makes 98 horsepower and 140 Nm of torque. So we should be getting about the same figures, unless Perodua had to tweak the engine a little to be compatible to our local fuel. Fuel consumption figures for the Ativa, Perodua claims it to be 18.9 kilometers per litre, which translates to 5.3 litres per 100 km. Now, that claimed fuel consumption figures is lower than both the Arus and Proton X50. The Ativa is touted to have a 36-litre fuel tank capacity, so if you do the math right, the Ativa has a theoretical range of 680 kilometers per full tank of fuel. So, no 1.5 NA, no 480 in the Ativa. Perodua has given you a turbo, so you better be satisfied. But I can already hear online keyboard warriors typing, "Oh, turbo unreliable, CVT no feel, NA is the best." Perodua is going all out with their new Ativa and they're not holding back one bit. Perodua is offering their latest A.S.A suite of ADAS as standard across the entire Ativa range. So all variants of the Ativa gets forward collision warning, autonomous emergency braking, pedal misoperation control and front departure alert. There is also the new lane departure warning and lane departure prevention that is also standard across the Ativa range. If you step up to the most expensive range-topping AV variant, you also get Level 2 semi-autonomous driving feature, which bundles adaptive cruise control, lane keep control, yes, lane keep control, that's what they're calling it, blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. I mean, Level 2 ADAS on a Perodua. And if you're a little bit old school, all variants of the Ativa get 6 airbags and electronic stability control. LED headlamps is nothing new on a Perodua. The A.S.A, Myvi and Arus all have it, but the Ativa is slightly different. The Ativa gets auto high beam function, and in the range-topping, more expensive H and AV variants, it adds adaptive driving beam function. Now, what is adaptive driving beam? You can think of it as adaptive high beam. Think of it as Audi's matrix LED headlamps, how they function. Well, Perodua is essentially the same thing. So imagine you're driving at night, oncoming traffic with your high beam on, and once the car detects there's an oncoming traffic, it dims the individual LED diodes that's projecting glare to the opposite traffic. They just dim that one side and remains the rest of your road illuminated with the high beam. This is some really fancy stuff on a Perodua. Other notable features that are available in the Ativa include a 17-inch alloys, front and rear parking sensors, reverse camera, a 9-inch floating touchscreen infotainment system, and a 7-inch LCD instrument cluster display. Now, I have to note that all these features are only available in the H and AV variants. Now, another thing I have noticed is that based on the brochure, it appears that the 9-inch touchscreen doesn't look very convincing nor pleasing to the eyes. I mean, it looks like a very aftermarket kind of Android head unit, and I suspect that it doesn't come with Apple CarPlay nor Android Auto connectivity. Now here's where I am praying that my prediction is wrong, and I sincerely hope that Perodua gives us Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There are 5 color options available for the Ativa, and if you want to go for the special metallic colors, you have to fork out an additional 500 ringgit. And in the AV variants, if you want to go for the black dual tone color scheme, you have to add an additional 800 ringgit. All Ativa comes backed with a 5 years or 150,000 kilometers warranty. So there you have it, the Perodua Ativa. It's many firsts for Perodua. It's their first turbocharged engine, their first CVT, their first level 2 ADAS, and even their first LCD instrument cluster. And the Ativa will spearhead Perodua's next generation of product portfolio of smarter, safer, and higher value cars. Order books for the Ativa are now open, and I think a lot of people will be flocking Perodua showrooms nationwide to try to place a booking for one of the Ativas. For me personally, I'm super excited for the Ativa. I can't wait to see it in person, and I can't wait to get behind the wheel of one and see what the fuss is all about. But let me know in the comment section below whether have you booked one or are you planning to book one of these Ativa. As always, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this. Download the official WapCar app on Apple App Store and Google Play Store for all your latest reviews, news, and comparisons to help you find your next perfect car.